Uh, uh. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Deuce with Davis Spindle. Happy Monday, May 9th. Had a great weekend. At least I did. Got out with some friends on a Friday night, went to a beer fest on Saturday, and then Sunday I went to my first baseball game of the season, which was a great time, despite the Padres losing 4-3, which I don't really care about because I'm a Red Sox fan. But the stadium is beautiful. I will, however, say I know exactly why the Padres lost. And this is why the Padres lost. In the eighth inning, they were down one run. They got the bases loaded with no outs. And then there was a pitching change. And the Padres put in a pinch hitter. The pinch hitter they put in was Derek Norris. While he is getting ready to pinch hit, he's swinging behind home plate. On the gigantic Jumbotron in left field, they put a 2-minute video of him, like his face, clip arted onto Hulk's body. And it's just them being like, Derek Norris, Hulk smash, Hulk smash. And it's like a 2-minute weird mini clip of him just like running around Hulk smashing things. And it's like the weirdest thing. It was kind of funny, but I was just thinking, you're sitting there, there's already enough pressure. You're down one late in the eighth inning, bases loaded. And instead of being focused, I'm looking over, and Derek Norris is looking up at the Jumbotron, watching his head on Hulk's body run around and Hulk smash things, going, Derek Norris, Hulk smash, Derek Norris, Hulk smash. The dude is batting 175. So we need to talk about that. He's batting 175. If you don't speak baseball, that's very, very bad. You cannot have a 2-minute pump-up video of the Hulk with him and Chris Evans just smashing things. You can't have that for a guy that's batting 175. 175 is terrible, and I look, and he's watching himself Hulk smash things. And that's it, because the pressure became too much. Instead of just focusing on the moment, he's just watching literally like a video tribute mental masturbation to himself. Like, look at me up there with Chris Evans, Captain America, just hulking the shit out of stuff. I'm going to kick ass. Like, oh, wait, what if I mess up? They just showed a 2-minute video of me dressed like the Hulk. Like, now his head's got to be all out of whack. He watched the whole thing. Just the whole, like, he's like getting into himself, and then walks up to the plate and boom, strikes out. I knew from that moment when that video played, it was over. You cannot play a video like that for a guy who's not good, who's not mentally with it enough, who would the type of person who would watch that video of themselves instead of think about the moment in that moment. That's not the guy I want up. I want the guy who doesn't even know there's a Jumbotron in left field because he is so focused on kicking ass. Not a guy who's watching his own face on the Jumbotron on the Green Hulk. It was dumb. So he struck out, the next guy popped out, and the next guy struck out, and they lost the game. Classic Padres. But it was a great day. It was a great Sunday. Part one is really quick today, and I'm just going to be honest. Part two is about to get a little emo. Not too bad, but a little emo. So if you're not looking for that, I understand. You might want to turn this off now. Tune in tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be way more normal. But for part two today, we are going to talk about Mother's Day. And this has been an interesting Mother's Day for me because, it's I don't know. My mom was always very into cards, thank you cards, Mother's Day cards, birthday cards, everything needed a card. That was a huge deal for her. She always believed in writing. I always had stationery with my name on it, even when I was little. She was saying, taking the effort to go the extra mile and show someone that you care is a huge deal. And I've taken that with me. I think thank you notes are really important. I try to send them in the mail as much as I can. I think they really do help you go the extra mile. And my mother was huge into that. And this is the first year that I don't have someone in particular to write a Mother's Day card to, which is, strange. My grandmother, she left us in July of 2013 at 97. She was one of the most amazing human beings, probably the most incredible person I've met. And the thing is, strangers would meet her one time and just tell me that she was the most amazing woman. She went blind at 80 and went and lived in an overnight bunk, like boot camp, to learn how to live as someone who can't see at 80 years old, and lived by herself until she was 94. She's the type of lady that she would get in an elevator with like 4 strangers, and by the time they got to the bottom floor, everyone would be holding hands and praying and then talking about how awesome that she was. It's amazing. She was like a saint on earth. She really was before she passed. So she was an amazing woman. And then I lost my mom this January, suddenly, unexpectedly. So that has made things a little bit difficult. And so the day was a little bit up and down for me on Mother's Day. There's moments where I wasn't sad and I almost felt bad about myself, like I should feel more sad. And then there were moments where I just felt very uncomfortable in my own skin a little bit. And that's, I think that's just how it is. But what I did decide to do was I did buy a Mother's Day card and I did fill it out. And I wrote it to my mom, and it was very therapeutic, cathartic, I guess. Because, when you write a thank you, it's not just for the person getting it. A lot of the time it's for you to really put your head in a mental state of gratitude, of actual like written thanks. I took the time to think about whatever you did and how that was important to me. And it was almost like journaling, but it was really cool. And I think it might be something I might do for the other occasions that make me think of my mom, where maybe I would want to reach out to her and can't. It was good. It was good because it made me not really ignore the situation. It made me just put my words together. And it's actually a very upbeat card. Like, a lot of it's really positive. But it's interesting is the card I randomly chose, the inside it says, thank you, Mom, or something, thank you and happy Mother's Day from the proudest graduate of the School of Mom, which I thought was funny because what I was thinking about is I booked my flight back to Boston, where I'm from, because my brother Max is graduating college. And that's a special case because Max is from Afghanistan. And he was one of the first 40 exchange students in 40 years to come over from Afghanistan. And my mom, despite having 5 kids, basically took on a 6th child who happened to not really speak any English. And she mothered him as intensely as she did the rest of us. She raised tens of thousands of dollars to get him back from Afghanistan after he went back. And then she raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to keep him in school. And he changed his name. So now we have the same last name. And it's probably the hardest thought so far is that my mom put in all the effort to really make this happen. I mean, she was the driving force behind keep getting him to the United States and making him a real member of our family. And he will be graduating. His name will be called. My family's name will be called. And she won't be there to hear it. And that is a little bit tough because I know it meant more to her than anyone, maybe even him. And I wish that she could hear it because I know how proud she would be. And my mom was someone who very much relished being proud of her children. So that is a moment that weighs a little bit heavy on my head. But it ended up being balanced out because I remembered my mom at my college graduation, and it's a memory that I'll never forget. She came to South Carolina with my brother Steve, my sister Amy, my dad, and we were all out to dinner, and they were all going to watch me graduate, and it was fun. It's like the night before graduation, and we were getting a little rowdy, and we had been to we went to dinner, and I don't know how it came up, but somehow the phrase "in commando," as in not wearing underwear, came up, and it was me, my brother, and my mom, and my mom didn't know what that phrase meant, and she was like, "I don't understand." And my sister was trying to explain to her, like, I mean, it's in commando, you're not wearing underwear, blah, blah, blah. And then my sister goes, "I'm in commando right now." And my brother and I were like, "That's gross. Why are you telling us this? This is so gross." And my mom thought it was the funniest thing. And she kept being like, "Oh, in commando, like la 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 la. But the thing is, my mom had this beautiful, amazing habit of learning new words, forgetting what they were, and then just inserting a word that she did know for the previous word. So she's laughing about it and not understanding why Amy would ever be not wearing underwear. My sister, sorry, Amy, just put you on blast. But anyway, my dad comes back from the bathroom or whatever, and my mom just looks at my dad and goes, "Hey, David, Amy's incognito." And I laughed so hard because it was just like the funniest version of my mom, not knowing the word, just replacing it with a word that meant something completely different. My dad had no idea what was going on, and no one who's incognito ever says, "I'm incognito." It's literally the opposite of what incognito is. So I remember laughing so hard, and then my sister and my brother and I were laughing so hard, and then my mom didn't understand, and when we explained it, she's then laughing so hard she's snorting, which is like the funniest version of my mom, and it was just the best day. It was really like the best meal. We had so much fun. And then afterwards, my mom wanted to go to a country bar, and we went to one that had dollar domestic beer. So shout out to South Carolina because there were a lot of people enjoying themselves. Graduation is the next morning, and they had country karaoke, and we got my mom to sign up. And my mom is an incredible singer. And even then, she was in her early 60s then, and she was still an unbelievable singer. And she signed up, and I think they kept passing over her because we kept seeing them pick the names of all these girls in their 20s at this bar, and the bar was starting to fill up, and they kept putting, these beautiful women in their 20s some could sing, some couldn't really, but it kind of felt like they were passing over my mom. And then finally, after we'd been there for a good long time, there was probably 150 people at this bar. It was a huge place. And they finally called my mom to sing, and she sang this song, an old country song called Crazy by Patsy Cline. And this story is like one of my favorites. But they started playing it, and it's a slow one. And my mom is like 5'2", and she's up there. And compared to the people that have been up there, she's very unassuming. And she has a very big voice. And as soon as she started, the first part of the song, you literally just belt out the word crazy very loud. And my mom did it, and everything that was going on in this bar basically stopped. And there was she basically brought the entire room to attention for about 3 minutes while she absolutely crushed this country song. And she's a very theatrical person too. So she's working the stage and got her arms out and stuff. And she went Aretha Franklin on us all for a little bit there. And it was amazing. And I know because there were two super bro-y frat guys in front of me. And one of them said to the other one, watching this woman sing was worth coming out tonight. So if you can convince two 21-year-old frat kids that you were worth coming out tonight when you're a married woman in your early 60s, then you clearly got it going on. But she loved it. It was the highlight. My dad was so happy, and we just had the best night. So I'm sad a little bit that a memory like that is not something that my brother Max will get because I cherish that memory. But I think he has plenty of his own memories, I'm sure, that he cherishes with my mom that, he'll keep on holding on to forever. But that incognito story and that song will be something that I will be thinking of to keep me smiling when my brother's name gets called to graduate at the end of May. So that's the end of today's Morning Deuce. And normally I play Roses by Outkast to send us out. But my mom was a singer. She was happiest when she was singing. And we found some old songs from recordings that she has from the early 70s. And so I figured in honor of Mother's Day and all the mothers out there, we would let my mom play us out. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And see you tomorrow. Or we'll talk to you tomorrow. Here she is.
I'm not until it's time for me to go. Though we're different worlds apart, we're not the same. We'll laugh and play like little children at a game. You could have stayed outside my heart, but in you came. And here I'll stay until it's time for me to go. Don't ask why. Don't ask how. Don't ask forever. Just love me. Love me now. This heart of mine has no beginning. It has no end. I was an oak, now I'm a willow. I can bend. And though I'll never in my life see you again, here I'll stay until it's time for me to go. Don't ask why of me. Don't ask how of me. Don't ask forever of me. Just love me. Love me now. This love of mine has no beginning. It has no end. I was an oak, now I'm a willow, and I can bend. And though I'll never in my life see you again, it's here I'll stay until it's time for me to go.